Hello, hi, and welcome back to the Marathopolis. I am your host, Mars, and yeah, if you're new, this is a new segment where I go through various marathons and I just do them and document the process. So, as you can tell by the title, thumbnail, and if you've been here before, we are doing a Marvel marathon right now, and this is the episode for the first week of the marathon. Now, if you were here for the announcement, you will know I was also supposed to watch 5 movies this week, and I only watched 4. Don't worry, I'll just carry it over to the next week. It's whatever. But this week, I watched Captain America. Ooh, that was not. Nope. This week, I watched Captain America, the first Avenger, Captain Marvel, and the first 2 Iron Man movies. And I will say, I was a little surprised how much I enjoyed the movies. I will say that first and foremost. I'm not the biggest Marvel fan. In fact, I quite dislike the movies a little bit. But maybe that is just because the more recent Marvel movies, not like the recent ones, just like, I don't even know. A lot of the things that Marvel has been putting out, but post Endgame have been subpar. Think like Quantumania, the newest Captain America, like again, like just weak movies. But also recently they also put out Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four. So it's really weird because Marvel hits on some bases and completely misses the ball in others. But again, I was surprised. These 4 movies I watched this week, solid, very solid movies. I enjoyed them quite a lot. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not gonna like wait. We're just gonna get into it. All right. So I made a tier list, and it should be popping up now. Yeah. So I made a tier list, and here it is. So let me explain the levels. So at the top, we have Absolute Cinema. This is for movies, or yeah, in this case, movies that are like top tier, like 5 out of 5 or close to 5 stars. Right below that, we have Worthy of a Rewatch. These are not quite perfect in my mind, but I'd watch them again given some time, and I enjoyed watching them quite a bit. Right below that, we have Not Good, Not Bad. This is for movies that are kind of mid. And I didn't want to use the word mid because I don't believe that movies that fall into this category are actually mid, but they're just not worthy of the above 2 levels. Below that, we have Barely Watchable. This is for movies that I didn't turn the TV off or I didn't leave the theater for, but the thought did cross my mind. And then at the bottom of the barrel, we have Who Greenlit This, because it should have never been made in the first place. The 4 movies I watched this week don't go below the first 3 levels. They're restricted to the second and third. No Absolute Cinema movies in this week, but all solid watches. So in Worthy of a Rewatch, we have Captain America, the first Avenger, and the first 2 Iron Man movies. And then in Not Good, Not Bad, we have Captain Marvel. Now, I have seen, on Letterboxd and just through general discourse that people don't really care for Captain Marvel. And I don't understand why. Captain Marvel wasn't the first movie that I watched because I'm watching them in chronological order. But for the sake of this argument and because I'm on it right now, I'm going to start with Captain Marvel. I enjoy this movie. I thoroughly enjoy it. I don't really understand the hate. Like, is it the best movie? No, not by any means. And I will say at the end where like it's like always get back up or something, that message I was getting when Captain Marvel or Carol or not Marvel or Veers, whatever you want to call her, was like that montage kind of scene. I don't really know how to explain it, where she was like getting up from all the time she was pushed down. That was really corny. I will not lie. I'm not a simp for the movie. I just think it's overhated, and I really like. Again, I'm not really sure why. And also, again, I hate Marvel, so I don't want to say hate anymore. I'm not the biggest fan of Marvel, so I'm not going to defend any movies that I don't believe are truly worthy of defense. I'm a big fan of lore, just like in general, and I like the Kree as like a species. They're just very interesting to me, and their empire is interesting to me, how it's run. I like the storyline, how like when you first watch the movie, you think the Skrulls are the bad guys, and then it's revealed that no, they're actually being persecuted and oppressed, and their homeworld is kind of like blown up. So I like that. I like that. Now, again, it's not perfect, and I've already said some reasons why I don't like it, but I also like how we get to see how Nick Fury's eye gets clawed out. We get to see why he has eye patch. So I like that. going back to chronological order, Captain America, the first Avenger. I'm surprised that I went 18 years without seeing this movie. That's kind of crazy. I was watching it and I realized I have never seen this movie before. And don't sue me on that. I'm sorry. I don't like Marvel, but you know what? Good movie. And I felt so bad for Agent Carter at the end when Steve had to, crash the plane. Oh, there were spoilers here. Just so you know. Yeah, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. I knew Hydra were like Nazis. I didn't know they were Nazis. Like I didn't know that. If that makes any sense, if you know what I'm trying to say. I also didn't know that Red Skull was like injected with like an imperfect version of the super serum. So this movie was very informative. And you know what? A lot of things that happen in later movies make a lot more sense after watching this one. I also now understand why in Civil War, why Cap fights so hard for Bucky. It's like, it didn't really, when I first watched Civil War, when it came out all those years ago, and remember, it's my first, I had never seen this movie before, I was like, why is this man, like, I understand, like, him and Bucky are friends. Like, honestly, I don't care, like he can go, he's evil, so let's just get rid of him, right? But now, after watching Captain America, I understand, yeah, this makes sense. Also, I don't know if they used CGI in this movie to make Steve Rogers, I don't know his actor's names, don't kill me, I don't know his name, but, I think it's Chris Evans. I could be wrong, but I believe it is Chris Evans. Yeah. So I don't know if they used CGI, but he looks really, really small. And I was like, damn, he is lanky. Like one lanky dude. But yeah, I enjoyed this movie thoroughly. And again, this is my first time seeing it. So honestly, strong start to the marathon, and it surprised me. I was surprised. I liked it a lot. On to Iron Man now. Iron Man, the first one. I was also surprised that I had never seen it before. Yeah, like around like halfway, maybe a third way into the movie, I realized I had never seen this movie before. I thought I did. I have not. So that was interesting. I thought Pepper and what's his name? Tony Stark were like a thing from the get-go. I did not know she was his assistant. So that was very interesting. Honestly, like, so much pain could have been avoided if when Tony escaped that cave in the beginning, if he killed the bald dude, like the dude who's running like the 10 rings, I believe this organization is called. If he just like made sure he was dead, so much pain could have been avoided. Also, I forget what Tony's, I don't even want to say friend. I don't know if the bald dude. I know I said the bald dude earlier, but like the bald dude who worked with Tony, his name starts with an O, and that's all I can remember. But I knew something was fishy about him the moment he appeared on screen. I was like, he is going to be the big bad at the end of this movie, isn't he? I just felt it in my soul. I never once trusted this man. And then when it turned out he had not only been working with the terrorists, but he had also put a hit out on Tony, I was like, I knew it. It made perfect sense to me. I was like, I called it from minute one of this movie. I knew it. I knew it. I also did not know why Tony had that thing in his heart until I watched this movie. So, my entire years watching Marvel movies, I was like, huh, he has this thing in his heart. But I never knew why. I didn't know how it got there. So that was interesting. But yeah, good movie. I don't really have many things to say about it. It was good. It wasn't like the most amazing thing I've ever seen. I don't really have any like criticisms I can levy towards it at the moment, like that I can think of. But yeah, it was pretty good. One thing I will say when I was watching it, and when I was in the beginning when Tony and the other dude were making the first suit to escape the cave, I was thinking in my head like the people keeping them captive cannot be that stupid, because what they're building looks nothing like a missile. So and they can see them through the cameras and they can see them, right? So it's like it made no sense to me that they didn't try to put a stop to it earlier, or they didn't like have like a guard in the room with them, because again, what they're building and it looks nothing. It's a suit. It looks nothing like a missile. So like, Why weren't they onto them earlier? That didn't make any sense to me. So like the whole like rescue, like the whole escape plan, like it took me out of it because it made no sense that they let it go on for so long that the suit could not only be finished, he could put the little reactor in his heart, and it just made no sense to me. Like, come on. I'm not rooting for them. I'm just like, be smarter. Like, come on, guys. Like, what kind of operation are we running here? Where you're gonna let your prisoners make a suit that's clearly not the missile you forced them to make. Anyway, that's pretty much my only criticism I can think of towards this movie at the moment. The last movie, Iron Man 2, its sequel, Tony is a bit of a mess in this one. I liked it. I don't really have too many criticisms. When the movie began, I was like, I think his name is Ivan. What is Ivan's like vendetta against Tony? And even after watching the movie, like I understand Ivan's grudge against the Starks, but it's like you can't put your vengeance on Tony for something his father did. Like that's just not fair. And then not only that, you're gonna like kill and put so many people in harm. Like it makes no sense. Like come on, dude. Come on. Let's let bygones be bygones. Like if you had like you like he looks old, right? He's old. So he's at least like 50, right? He looks 50 to me. He's had so long to like prove himself and like try to outwit the Starks like intellectually, but he wasted his life. I'm sorry, he wasted his life, and he can only blame himself for that. So getting mad that Tony is now in the spotlight just because of your father's work, okay, that's upsetting. But what have you done with your life to upstage that? Nothing. So you can really kind of only blame yourself, man. Like really, it's not like a you issue. But I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed, they tackled like how Tony has these weapons in the suits, and like the US government obviously like wants control over that, and he's like no, it's mine. But then like the entire movie he's like out of control, acting crazy, partly definitely because he's like dying, but then also like he's just not being a irresponsible person. He's pushing Pepper and his friends away. It's just what few friends he has. Also, side note, why was Elon Musk in this movie? What? Ew, I don't like that, man. But yeah, good movie. Tony, he really needed to get his act together throughout the whole movie. Also, I did. Oh, yeah. Again, I thought I saw this movie. I don't think I saw this movie before. I know I've seen Iron Man 3. I've seen Iron Man 3. I remember a few things from Iron Man 3, but I guess I've never seen Iron Man 1 and 2, and we'll watch Iron Man 3 next week. But I had never seen this movie either, and I was so surprised when Natasha came in. I was like, Black Widow was in this movie? What? Nobody told me that. I was completely unaware for the past 18 years that Black Widow was in Iron Man 2. That surprised me thoroughly. And, like this movie is so much better because she's in it. To those who don't know, because who would, Black Widow is like one of my favorite superheroes in the MCU. So seeing her here was like amazing. Like, and she was badass. She ate when she broke into I forget his name. That's for the H. I'm gonna call him Hammer. When he broke into Hammer's factory, I guess. The way she took out those guards, like she didn't break a sweat. Then I forget the dude she was with's name, but he was like fighting that guard like for like the entire time, and she's just making her way through. And Ivan knew that he could not take her, so he ran like a pussy. Okay, let me not say that, but he ran, and the movie was good. I don't really have anything to levy against it, honestly. Like I'm thinking about it now, I don't have any like big criticisms to levy against the movie. It was really good. It kept me engaged, and you know what? For all 4 of these movies, I do have to say they are good movies. And if these movies keep on this trend, I may have to reevaluate my standing towards Marvel. I will not budge on the fact that I do still believe that the Marvel movies recently have definitely gone downhill. But looking at these older Marvel movies, they are solid, and I did enjoy these 4. So with that being said, I'm going to rate the week, and I think the week deserves like a 3.5 out of 5 stars. That's what I believe the whole week deserves. Because these are really good movies. They're not perfect by any means. None of them are 5s. I wouldn't even say any of them are 4s. Maybe Iron Man 2 is a 4, but if it's a 4, it's because Black Widow's it. Like, without Black Widow, it'd be a 3.5. But you know what? Black Widow. But, that's just one movie. So I would say 3.5 for all 4 movies combined. And I think that's pretty much it for this update episode. For episode 1, keep a lookout for sometime next week. I don't really want to say like this day next week because I don't even know when this one's coming out. It's supposed to come out on Sunday, and like these episodes are this idea. They're supposed to come out every Sunday because that makes the most sense, obviously. But school is busting my ass, so making the videos go out on Sunday, not very viable. So I'm thinking before before the week is over, sometime before the week is over, this video will pop up. I won't give a date because I don't want to make promises I know I can't keep. Improvement. See, in the past, Mars would have. Why did I refer to myself in third person? That was really weird. Side note. A big pet peeve of mine is when people talk about themselves in the third person. It freaks me out, okay? You cannot tell me that doesn't freak you out. If you walk up to someone and you're like, hi, my name is, I don't know, Bob, right? And then the person you're talking to goes, Julie says hi. Huh? The fuck you mean? Like, it's just weird. It's just weird. And it freaks me out. Like, we're not in a video game. Why are you speaking like that? Like, it's normal. It's not normal. Side note aside, I feel like past me would have given you a date and the date would go by with no video. So I'm telling you, it'll come out before the week is over. And that I will keep. Hopefully. Yeah, I'm not really sure when this video is going to come out, but I'll edit it as fast as I possibly can. And I hope you guys, whoever's listening, to the one person out there who listens, I hope you enjoyed this video. Also, if you can barely hear me, it's because I'm recording this at 2 a.m. and I don't want to wake anyone up. So that is why I'm quiet. If I'm not quiet, disregard everything I just said and pretend like I didn't say it, because that would be a little awkward for both of us. With that being said, I think that's everything I wanted to say in this video. And, if you could do what all the other YouTubers ask you to do, I'm not going to ask you to do it, but if you could leave a like, maybe even a little subscribe, or just comment if you want. I'm not going to force you to. No one's holding you at gunpoint. But only do that if you enjoyed. If you didn't enjoy it, you did, and you're just wrong. Remember to eat your dinner and get your sleep, and I'll see you in episode 2. Bye!